Hello, my name is Barbara. Thank you for joining today again to this session. So last time we started. Oh, I'm sorry. So last time we started tweaking the pmod gyro. We added the temperature and we did some small refactor to the code. We had some small code duplicated. We also included the power down and power up functions, and then we realized we had an error when calling temp once the P mode was already turned off. So that could be a great start for today's sessions. Let's dig into the code. So as you see here, the green lines are the code that I added. I didn't include this, okay, or let me just rephrase that. I have my GRiSP repository inside checkout, and then we did hot code loading last time. So let's try to connect. I have the GRiSP port already connected, and then let's do okay. For this we will need to have a remote shell, and then I would like to have an additional shell for me to load the code. So in the remote shell I will use the name of R1, and then my cookie for this is GRiSP gyro demo. And let's see if I can connect. I have an error, and sometimes my Wi-Fi powers off or on and off. So it might happen that the IP address that I have in my computer for the board is not the same that the board has in this moment. So let me double check that. So we could use, what happened there? Let me reset this. And for now, double check which API I have in my computer. Okay. So this is good, it's trying to connect. Okay, I'll see which API I have. Okay. So my current API is 192.168.07. And even though you don't have access to my Wi-Fi, I will choose not to show. But let's see if this starts up. Okay, in the meantime, I guess we could review what we, okay, so we have it, I'm sorry. I could say inet, I think it's get if, oh, okay. This one over here, I have 7, not 9. So let me correct that in my file. And now I can show you this again, and I could try this again. Okay, same line, different IP address, and we are in. We could check the nodes, and we are good because we are in this node over here, and then I could do the same but for the loader, and then include this to the nodes. So I need to do net admin ping, and we need to ping the GRiSP port. So GRiSP port name in my case is I think it was gyro demo at GRiSP 104. And that's it. So now if I check my notes, my notes, I have my node, then the GRiSP, and my remote one, which is great. Okay, so since I was saying before, last time we implemented a temp, so since we already reboot the board, if right now I go and include the device, so let's check. It will be empty, but let's check for the devices that we have right now, or it should be empty devices. And it is empty, so let's include the one that we are using right now. We are using a gyro, a pmod gyro, and this one is connected to our SPI one. So let's add a device. And first we need to include the connector or the port where we have the sensor or the pmod. So this is SPI1, and then the name of the pmod that we are connecting, and this is the pmod gyro. So the device is connected, and now I could do a first read just in case to check that everything is in order. So pmod, and let me show you this. So before this go, the one we actually don't have loaded into the board right now because we just rebooted and this is not in the build inside the board. So we have read, and read will give us the angular velocity on the 3-axis for this sensor over here. So if we go to our remote one and then say pmod gyro and read, and maybe if I check it will be we will have a better reading because otherwise we'll be near to 0. We are getting the correct values, and then if we go to and try to get the temperature, which we implemented last week, we will see an error because we need to load this. So how do we load this? Right now I'm inside the source code, inside GRiSP and inside checkouts. So we could just say compile and the name of the module. And since I'm already inside source, that will be just pmod gyro. I'm sorry. as I said before, I'm very good with typos. So let me just double check everything. That went well, and now we need to pass this to every node. Pmod again. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So now, if we do a temperature reading, we get a really weird value. Okay, what changed? Well, we get a reading, which is good. So let's see the code, because I'm not sure if I change anything. Let's remove this and then go back. So let's compile again and read temp. Okay, that looks better. And if you remember, or if you saw the last video, I would like to remember you did. We do have the, or we do check the reference for each chip when we work with the new pmod or implemented a driver for a pmod, just to double check everything that we need, or not double check, I should check what do we need to actually do to get the readings for each sensor. And as we spoke last time, when getting the temperature, we had this decreased by value, and then we said that I'm not sure about what value means, but we do know that that on a byte we do have 256 digits. So we actually were getting the number. Let me just move to instead of talking, let me just find the page by searching temperature. Okay, so okay. So in the temperature sensor characteristics, we have that the unit that we are receiving is Celsius by digit. So last time we actually discovered that if we did this, and since we have 8 bits, and then that will give us a value of, or digits of 256. So if I save this, this will give me then a near value of the temperature in this room. Okay, and it might be less hard than that, but this is kind of near my computer, and my computer is getting crazy right now. So it could be, and then also just remember that this is not very accurate. It's for the gyro to actually calculate some inner or to do some inner calculations to provide the angular velocity. So let me just try to put this kind of far on my computer and see if I get a different reading. So yeah, of course. And and we do get a different reading. And okay, so now we do have it as last time. Again, it was a typo before. And so the error that we were having was that if right now I do a power down, so pmod, then I'm getting an error. Oh wait, no, that's not the error that I'm looking for. We do have a power down, right? Yeah. Oh, pmod gyro. I'm sorry. That was the error, but not the one that we are looking for. Okay, so it's turn off, which means everything. We shouldn't get a reading of temp, but then if I go and try to get rid of temp, this was the error that we were having before. And to fix this, let's actually see what we are getting, because then we are, where's the line? Okay, because whatever we are getting here, we are using to divide 256 by the temp, or by the value. So let's see what we are getting here, because that might be the error. And then let's hardcode. And then if this is already turned down, and this is very weird. Why am I getting a 10? Let me see if I turn, so power up. Oh, sorry. I'm still getting a 10. But with a 10, I shouldn't get an error. Okay, seems like we're getting 10. And what if we do, just in case, pmod gyro 10. Okay, so let's turn this off. Down, turn power down. And okay, great. And let's see, it's always 0, and of course you can divide by 0. And what if I put it near my computer just in case, because it was different before? Okay, no, it's 0 always. And then of course you can divide by 0. So it means that we actually had this before, and that was the error that we were seeing. So what can we do? We could work on a function to handle this result. So we could say handle temp and pass temp, and then this is going to be, I'm sorry, reply, and instead of temp here we could just pass a reply, and then we could just create this function, and let's do it on the internals. This will receive temp, and then let's do a silly case for us just to see if temp is 0, then we could just return temp. But if it's not 0, then we could do what we were doing before, right? Whoop, it is not correct. This is off again. And then we could say 256 by temp and yeah, let's do this. And why am I... Great. Okay. So let's compile this. So if I get temp, right now it's 0, but let's turn up this. So it's turned on. And let's get temp. We're getting a different reading. And then if I power down, and try to get a reading, I'm getting 0 because which is past what we were getting. And it's always 0 even though I put it just by my computer, and looks better now. So that was the error that we were having last week. Kind of a silly, how do you say it, solution. But then it is important to always check what we are receiving. So that's cool. I will encourage to try this and maybe try it with a different pmod, one that we don't have a documentation for it, and get a GRiSP board and start playing around, because as you could see, it's very easy to start implementing drivers in Erlang, and very fun as well. Usually a small robot or a small project will require more than one sensor, so we could start playing with the values that I'm getting for the temperature, and then with the LEDs that are included in the board, and just to get some readings and change the LED colors. And so what can we do to do that? We could play in the shell and maybe do a function to if the temperature is, let's check what we have right now. So if it's below 223, then we could say the first LED could be yellow, but if it's above, we could turn that to red, maybe. And so that will mean that if it's hotter, you will see that it turned red, and if it's not, it will be yellow. That's an idea. So let's start playing with that. So I will create it here, even though this is not part. I'm just thinking another problem. Should I create it here and start playing here, or even though this is not part of the driver itself, it will be just like playing with the driver. So maybe I can create a new file here in our project. So this will be called temp handler, maybe, or temp demo. Okay, I will stay with temp demo. And then this module, sorry, is called temp demo, right? Then let's work on a function that do what I just said. So maybe we could call this read. And this read will not receive any value, but instead will be getting the value from the sensor. So temp will be pmod, pmod gyro, I'm sorry, pmod gyro temp, right? Because that gives us the temperature. And then we could do a case again. So let's say case case or if yeah, no worries. Temp of and then if it's greater than 23, we said, right? We could just say GRiSP let color, and I'm not sure which one I have turned on as default, but I will turn that off before we play with this. And then let me see if I could do this. Can I? Let's do an if. I don't like this. Okay, so if temp, let me it looks better. Just one second. Okay. Let me see if it's greater. This is not here, it should be there. And then temp, right? If it's equal, I'm sorry, or less than 23, then let's choose another color. So GRiSP LED color, and the same LED but with the color yellow. And then we could say end, and that's looking better. Okay, so now let's expose this. So export. It's called read and doesn't receive any value. And isn't it export? Oh, what do I have wrong? Did I do the typo? Oh, it is defining. Maybe if I save this. Enter it's on define. Why am I getting undefined? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought I put a 0 there. Okay, and small typo. And then we could I'm not sure if I could go back right here, but let's see. So I am inside the source file of GRiSP over here, but we need to go back 3 folders. So 3, and then this is called temp demo. Oh, I didn't saw the chat for a while because I forgot. Hello, Rafael. We were working on a new feature for a pmod, which is the temperature inside the gyro pmod. I think that part got covered by now. I'm not sure if you're still lost. So we implemented that, and then I was getting an error, then we fixed that error, and now we're just playing with the reading that I'm getting with the temp, and playing with, or we're gonna start playing with the LEDs in the board. So the board has 2 LEDs, and we were just playing around. And if you do have any other question, please put it in the chat, and I will be more, I'll pay more attention to the chat. Sometimes I forget. So error non-existent. So yeah, I'm not sure if I could do that. So I could just create another shell to load something. I think that will be faster, I guess. And then, so I could just go to, and this is gyro, and source. So we do have the temp over here. And now we could create another shell. This will be loaded. Maybe 2. And then I need to include this in the net that I have. So net admin ping. And let's ping the board. The board was called gyro. Is it gyro demo? At GRiSP 104, because that's my board. And I get a response. So if I check the nodes, I am connected. And let's compile. So we wanted to compile the temp demo, correct? Oh, I'm sorry, I put I did enter before. Yes, temp demo. So compile temp demo. And that's compiled. So if we go to our remote shell, then we could just call that, and that is temp demo read. So before that, I said that I wanted to turn off the current LED that we have. So let's try that. We could just say GRiSP LED off. Let me just show you the documentation for it. So for the LED, we could set a color, we could say off, flash, or pattern. We're going to choose off, and off takes one parameter that it will be the number of the LED. So as I said, we have 2. So it will be either 1 or 2 in this case. So let's do that before, and let's try to turn the one off, which will be the one that we will be using. And that means that this one is the number 2. So let's turn that one off. And that's great. And now let's use the module that we just created and loaded. It was called temp demo, and the function was read. Temp. That's weird. Let me see. Undefined function temp demo read. So we didn't have any module here, I guess. Oh, we compiled this, but we didn't include this in the network. So let's do temp demo. Okay. Okay. Oh, and it worked. So this means that it's, let's see the code again. It is below 20 or equal to 23. So it's yellow. Let's hit this up. And try again. Might be easier if I also return temp just to display the value. So maybe I could say temp, but temp at the end. Let's compile. And now, why am I getting 0? That's weird. Did we turn this off? Okay, let's turn so gyro, not pmod gyro. No, power up. Okay, turn on, and let's do a reading. So let's get temp, right? And it's 23. So now let's try to do a read with the new module. Ah! And it's working. Not sure if you saw the change, but it's red now because it is above 23. So let's maybe to be more graphic on the change. Let's tweak this and compile again. And if we do a reading right now, shouldn't be red because we moved that to 25. Why is 25.6 now? Okay. My computer is hitting this up even more than when I tried to do it with my mouth. Let me try to do this again. So, okay, 23 now, which is expected. And then if I try to hit this up to a point that it's above 25 and then the change. Now, this kind of looks silly, but the reason that I did this, it was just a simple example for us to demonstrate that it's easy to play around even more than one device that we have connected. So usually in a robot, you will have several sensors to calculate the velocity, or if it's getting near obstacles, or if it's I don't know, several, or you could also have the temperature there. So several sensors on a single application, and then you could work together with them and try to do callbacks around depending on the values that you get. Do you have any questions so far? Let me double check. Color could be, I'm not sure if Pierre. Okay. I wasn't checking the chat. So I'm not sure how can I say your nickname, but color could be RVG, could be well, that's not really a string, it's an atom, but I could show you. We do have the documentation here. And color, we have color names already declared. So you could use this, or then you could use RGB to set the value of the color that you want. Rather than select the color, I hope that good idea. Specify when a so color can. Exactly. Okay. Any other question? None so far. Okay. Well, like I said, this was just okay. Temperature is measured. Yes. Let me just show you again this. You will be finding here. So temperature. This sensor in a specific give us the temperature in Celsius by digit, which wasn't much clear for me. So that was why we did small parse because the what they give us it is in Celsius, but but not quite. We need to tweak this to get the Celsius. And then I spoke, that was one, I spoke about how many values we have for the bytes that we are sending and receiving, because SPI works in a way that you send something and receive something, and this is connect to the SPI part. So we play with the amount of digits that we were able to play with in that range of bytes that we are sending and receiving. Any other question? Is there a way to get real-time temp? You could do, I noticed you had to call. Yeah, I mean, you could set a timer if you want to. We could do that. Let's do a timer. One second. Where's my code? Okay. We could use the timer function and then apply an interval and call this function that we just created. And maybe to do it easier, we could just call it in the shell. So right here, we could set timer and then apply interval, apply. Interval. And okay, I always forgot the value. I think the first one will be the time, maybe then the module. Let me just double check. So apply, oh, maybe timer, one. Okay, so we could do apply interval, yes. So it will take the time, the module, the function, and the arguments. Okay, easier then. Not here. So maybe smaller, maybe 300. The module it's called temp demo. And then the function that we did was read. And the values, this takes is none. And this will give us, okay, the interval on which, and let me just see if I could, how might I try to call this down? Let us play with this. So, apparently it's very hot. So let's do 35 here and 35. Let me console this. Okay, let me just double check the chat and cancel this. Cancel. Oh, no. Maybe I just need to pass this. No, that was the whole reference, right? Because it was okay and the reference. Yes, okay. Whichever. Okay, cool. I know. Okay. Also, are the max and min range in the printer based on the chip in the board? Yes. Every chip will have different specifications, so that's why it's so important for you to check these specification first. For example, this one specific goes from -40 to +85, and we also we have another pmod that works with temperature. That's the pmod nav, and pmod nav works very different with temperature. It doesn't give us the Celsius per digit. It works with a TLS, I believe, and give us a value for us to parse this and get the temperature. Let me then see if we could, or maybe we could just not call this one, but call the temperature. So we could just say timer, timer, and then apply interval, and let's do it the same. And instead of temp demo, we could just say pmod gyro, and this one will be temp, and we don't need to pass any attribute. And timer is play. I'm sorry. Okay. But this is doing that and not showing us the value. Okay. Either way, I guess you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. That was what I wanted to do it. Yeah, because I wanted to actually show. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wanted to do it. The reason that I wanted to do it with the read that I did is because then we will see how this moves from yellow to red. But otherwise, this is running with a timer, and we are not seeing anything. But okay. Any other question? Okay. Well, if not, I think I could leave this for today, and then we could see each other again next time with a different idea, and to play around. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was just because I wanted to cancel the timer, but it's okay. So just saying, we didn't see the result. Yes, I mean that's exactly what I. Let me see. Because okay, let me just try again and try to actually run the one that I wanted to. Oh, so see, the first one. Okay, but then weird values over here. So the first one that I run was with this read over here, and that's why the colors are changing in a way, kind of very weird. But yeah, so I just wanted to show how you could get the temp on kind of like a real-time reading. You just need to, I guess you could just set how real the time that you want, how real time, because it will be sub real time. Because I just did a there's because timer server. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you could just set your timer on a amount of seconds that you could work on, and then tweak everything around and work on whatever that you need to do. Any other comment or question? Well, if not, I hope you guys have a great weekend. This was really fun. I will do it again. Not sure if next week, but but of course we can see each other again. And bye bye, guys. Have a great weekend and a great Friday night or day.